Hi, it's Regina here, and welcome back to one of my videos where I share a time lapse and I talk about it. I'm really happy that you are enjoying my content. I really love to do these videos, and you left me really nice comments in my last video and also in the first one. Remember to check my two last videos in case that you didn't see them. I've talked about different things depending on the time lapse I'm sharing, and I really have a lot of fun doing that. So before we start with the new one, remember to subscribe to this channel, thumbs up on this video if you enjoy my content, and remember you can always support my art on patreon.com/rgbcn. Link is in the description. Today I want to talk about something really silly, but I get a lot of asks about it, and that's why my username is rgbcn. I know it's silly, right? But yeah, I get a lot of asks, so I thought about explaining it a little better. I shared that, I guess, in some of my live sessions on Instagram, but yeah, I don't mind explaining it better. And for that, I thought about sharing this time lapse with you that it's Shamy kissing from last October. And why this drawing to illustrate that? Because the origin of my name is also related to why I draw Shamy and why I draw a lot of the Big Bang Theory fan art. So I thought that this will be a great time lapse to share while I explain that. So yeah, let me explain the origin of my username. There was a time that I didn't have any of these social accounts or even this YouTube channel, or I wasn't sharing any of my drawings because I wasn't drawing that time. I'm talking about 4 years ago that I started watching again The Big Bang Theory because we stopped watching the show a long time ago. We watched it, I guess, season one, two, and I think half of the three. But then we were busy, life sometimes can be really busy with work, with a lot of championships and a lot of stuff. And I didn't have the time to be watching shows or movies or whatever. And around 4 years ago, I really watched the show again and I caught up with the airing in United States. And there was a moment that hit me really hard, that it was when season 8 ended, that you remember what happened on the finale, Sheldon and Amy break up. And I didn't expect that. I was really enjoying the show again. I always enjoyed it, but because we saw a lot of seasons together, it was really fun. We were really having a lot of fun, and that was my first hiatus as well. Because when I was watching the other seasons, I wasn't with the aiding of the United States, so I could watch season and another season, and I could watch it all if I wanted. And yeah, when we arrived to season 8, we catch up, and that happened. The breakup of Shamy happened, and that hit me really hard. I didn't expect that, as I was saying, and it was really difficult for me. And I've never been waiting for a show for so long, so it was difficult for me because I was like, no, 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 what will happen? What I need to know now. And I remember, I don't know why, I started Googling Sheldon and Amy, Shamy. I don't know what I was Googling. Sorry for this pronunciation. Um, and I remember that I don't know, one of the results on Google was some Tumblr post about stories of Sheldon and Amy, so fanfictions. I never I never thought that that exists. That was a thing. I didn't know that fanfictions exist. So yeah, I was a newbie for that, and I was 35 years old. So yeah, I missed a lot of things during my life. So at that point, I was like, "There's the stories of Sheldon and Amy, really, or everything?" Because then I discovered fanfictions and I saw that there was a stories for everything you want. But yeah, that was a new thing for me. So I started reading and I started enjoying Shamy fanfictions and the Big Bang Theory fanfictions. And it was really new for me, and I was reading all the time. So I spent all the summer reading and reading and reading and reading and falling in love more and more and more and more with the characters. It was really life-changing for me in this way. And that was the origin of having an account for something that was related with the show. And it was not Instagram, it was not Twitter, it was not Tumblr, it was fanfiction. Fanfiction.net. I needed to create an account if I wanted to review, if I wanted to like the fanfictions. And because at first I started reading only, and I wasn't reviewing the fanfictions. I didn't know that that was a thing as well, that you could review and say to the authors, hey, I love this fanfiction, thanks for writing it. And I remember I I finally did an account and I talked with an author that was Hazelra7. I'm sure you know her fanfictions. And she told me about, oh, please leave a review because we authors appreciate that so much. So I said, okay, I will leave reviews starting now. And I started doing that, reading and leaving reviews. So yeah, that's why I created an account. And that was my first account. And when I was trying to think about, okay, what name I have to put here, I sometimes use a lot RG from Regina. So the R and the G is from my name, because I don't know why when I created an account one day I couldn't use the E. So yeah, I finally use RG for some reason. And then I was like, okay, RG can be something. And then I was like, because I didn't want to put my real name there or something that was super, super, super related to my personal life. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about that. And finally I thought, okay, I'm Regina, I'm from Barcelona. And I thought, okay, let's put RG and then BCN from Barcelona, because if you one day fly to Barcelona, the airport is BCN. You know the letters of different airports. Barcelona is BCN. So yeah, it's something as silly as RG from my name and BCN from Barcelona. So I'm Regina from Barcelona. Even if now I'm living in London, maybe someday I will be again in Barcelona. In fact, I'm not even from Barcelona city. I'm from nearby. The city is called Mataró. But yeah, it's from it's not Barcelona city, but it's from Barcelona. You know the little territory. I don't know how it's called that in English. So yeah, that was the origin and my first account. So fanfiction.net was my first account, named like rgbcn, and that finally led me to open a Tumblr account, because I wanted to reblog gift sets and photos of the Big Bang Theory and Shamy, and because there were a lot of authors there that were sharing a lot of fanfictions as well. Not everyone was posting the stories on fanfiction.net. So yeah, I started my Tumblr account then, and I was like, normal fun, reblogging, fangirling. I think I was reading spoilers that time because Shamy break up, and I was like, I wanted to know if they get back together. So when season 9 started, I remember that I was reading some spoilers in Tumblr and that thing. And that was my second account, and also I called it rgbcn because why not? I had an account on fanfiction.net and an account on Tumblr, and it was the same because I was the same person. But I didn't want to use my real name, but I didn't think about I don't know, putting some quote of Shamy or the usual that a lot of you normally use for your fan accounts. I was just, I don't know, I used this, and that was my thing, and I used it for that. So because I started being so invested with the characters, and I really love it to see every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the airing, the new episodes, seeing what was happening with these characters, I started to love so much. I really started being more active on Tumblr, even if I was not drawing. I was just, reblogging, commenting, or, oh, this is so sweet, or I want them to be back. And, things like that, normal stuff from, if you are a fan of any show, I guess that it's something that it's quite normal for a lot of us. It was my first experience like that, because even if I really liked other shows before, especially anime, uh, you have to remember I'm old and I never had the tools to be like that before. So when I was a teenager, we didn't even have internet. So it's something, all school fandoms, I guess, that it was really difficult to communicate with other people, and less all over the world. That was, unthinkable for us. So that was my first experience in a fandom like that, sharing things, photos, comments, feelings in a place like that. That was Tumblr at that time. And I was quite happy with that. I was having a lot of fun, but I wasn't drawing at that point. That was something that came a little after. So for personal things and personal reasons, I did my first drawing of Mayim, that it was kind of a portrait, even if I didn't spend a lot of time on it. It was kind of a 1 hour and a half portrait. So I don't know. It's more an sketch than a portrait. But anyway, at that time, I wasn't really drawing every day. In fact, I didn't draw almost anything in 10 years. Even if when I was little, I used to draw a lot. So yeah, finally, I don't know. I did a drawing and I thought on posting it on Tumblr, because I had my account on Tumblr, and I thought that I really wanted to do something for the fandom that I was having a lot of fun in, or with. So yeah, I finally did a drawing and I was like, let's share it, and I hope that people will like it. And because I was loving a lot, I was having so much fun with Shamy, etc. So I really liked Mayim, and I did this drawing and I shared it, and yeah, people started seeing it and they were like, oh, that's a cute drawing, oh, that's amazing, etc. And I was like, oh, I can do another one. And I think I did more, another portrait. I did, I think, Jim. Yeah, I did another portrait, I think. It's all in my in my story on Instagram. I think the posts are there, but I was not posting on Instagram. I was only posting on Tumblr. I did this portrait of Mayim. I think I did a portrait of Jim. And then I started one day, I thought, okay, let's try to draw Shamy. And I did some really ugly drawings at that point. Drawings of Shamy, and I started sharing that on Tumblr. And yeah, the fandom welcomed me with open arms. It was like, oh, we like your drawings, you are drawing Shamy, we love Shamy as well. Welcome, and we want more drawings from you. And I was having a lot of fun sharing it on Tumblr, drawing after work. And yeah, I had this account. I still have it, of course, and I was sharing and having fun. And there was time that some of the people I started talking with, they told me about, hey, you should open an account on Instagram because the cast is there. I think one of my drawings that I kind of collaborated with another person, she colored one of my drawings with my permission, and she posted it on Tumblr, and she posted it on Instagram, and Mayim and Jim liked the drawing. I remember that she was super excited and she was like, oh, look, Regina, Mayim and Jim liked the drawing. And I was like, oh my God, because I never expected that. So that's why finally I opened my account on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook also, but I think that was a little later. But yeah, I opened my account on Instagram, and of course I was like, well, everyone knows me on Tumblr as rgbcn, so my Instagram account will be rgbcn as well. And that's really silly. That's the story about my name. It's not something, I know that it's not exactly related to Shamy because it's not a quote, it's not something, but it's one of the reasons that I finally started drawing Shamy. Not the name of my username, but why I started reading fanfictions, why I opened my account on Tumblr, why I started being more active in the fandom. So yeah, finally I started having a Instagram account that grew a lot at first. I remember that I think the first 2 or 3 days I already had 100 followers, and I was super excited that people were like, oh, we love your drawings, I know you from Tumblr. And I started having more followers, and at the time we didn't have this kind of Instagram algorithm that only shows you the posts that can be relevant to you. So yeah, my account grew a lot at that time because also Instagram was chronological, so it was easier to see the posts that people were doing. So at that point, when my Instagram started growing a little more, people already know me for my username. I could have changed it and say, okay, starting now, because I'm posting more drawings and this will be my art account, maybe I will rename it to Regina Art or RG Art or whatever I wanted to put at that point. But I didn't, and still now I have rgbcn everywhere. You can find me everywhere as rgbcn, even my Patreon, even my YouTube channel, even my all my accounts. It's rgbcn, except my coffee. Yeah, I have a coffee account and it's rgbcn art because I couldn't do short names, but yeah, I added art at the end just for that. But yeah, that's I know that it's quite silly, but that's the story behind my username. It didn't have a great meaning. It didn't have anything, I don't know, huge or something like that. But it was kind of related to the reason I was starting to be more active in the fandom and drawing more Shamy, and that's it. It's not a huge story. It's not a big story, but that's the story behind my username. I'm sure that even after this video, there will be people that will ask me, why this username? Why it's so difficult? Because there's no vowels in it, and what's the meaning of that? And I guess that I will be answering that again in my stories, etc., or sending people to this video. I don't know. But yeah, it's my username, and for now I'm still keeping it. And I guess that it's more difficult to change it now that when I started posting on Instagram. I should have changed it back then. But yeah, I didn't. So I guess that I will have to keep it for a long time. So I hope that you enjoyed this time lapse of Shamy kissing. This is a new version of an old drawing that I really loved the heart shape, and the drawing was so old, so I thought about doing a new version, and that was the result. Maybe one day I will draw it again, maybe with color, I don't know. Sometimes I really like to revisit some of the drawings I did in the past and do a new version, see how my style have changed and if I can improve it or transform it into another version and another feeling. So yeah, that was a new version of an old drawing. So that's all I wanted to share today. I hope that it was not boring for you to listen to me talking about the origins of my username and the origins of my accounts. But I hope that this helps you to know a little more about me. It was fun sharing this little story with you. So yeah, that's it. Remember to subscribe to this channel, thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed my little story. And remember, you can support my art on patreon.com/rgbcn. Thanks for watching and see you next time.